Mashable. What's up, man? Who are we? Well, my name is Kenan. This is my dear friend Kel.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
But what is Good Burger, and where do we find Dex and Ed to start Good Burger?
Start at the beginning. I love it. Let's travel. Let's take a trip.
Well, Ed is a kid that works at a fast food restaurant, and sometimes he messes up orders, but he doesn't mean to do it. You know, he's a kind young man.
Kind on it. Accidental genius.
Accidental genius. But when we pick it up at Good Burger 2, now he's running the place. But that's something that you find out later.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil too much.
We don't want to spoil too much.
Hijinks ensues once again, and the reuniting of Ed and Dex.
The new adventures of Ed and Dex starts now. Sorry. The new adventures of Ed and Dex starts now.
What was important for you guys to update for today's audience?
Update-wise, like, probably just the reference material, like the cameos, you know what I mean? And, like, putting faces in that not only we recognize, but, like, the youngest person in the theater could probably recognize. Those kind of decisions. And then everything else, I think, was more so about trying to stay true to the tone and look and feel of the original kind of thing. But
where we are now as a society, as far, I mean, like what you guys put in there, which I thought was insanely timely and smart, was like the AI robot, component of like taking away people's jobs and.
Yeah, I mean, it's the time that we're living in. I mean, a lot of fast food restaurants are dealing with that right now, and employees are, losing their jobs to robots. You know what I mean? And so we wanted to definitely show that within the film. At the core, Good Burger is a fast food restaurant. You know what I mean? So we wanted to have that realness. And so when the people
fight the robot power.
That's right. The Burgernator.
But yeah, shout out to Kevin and Heath, for keeping their fingers on the pulse from the first ones to now, and like putting things in there that do echo the current times. That's important to make it, feel current for the audience, because when you're a kid, you want to own your version of things. You know what I mean? It's like, well, your parents like this, fine, that was their thing kind of thing. You know what I mean? But you want, control over your thing and what you like kind of thing. So it'll be nice for young kids to have a chance to own something that is so nostalgic. You know what I mean? They'll have a new, fresh piece, that's just kind of, for their era, basically.
Mm-hmm. For me, seeing comedy now, the way, like how you said, how you watched it with us, being on television, a lot of it is on social. It's a lot of great young comedians.
A lot of it is in the comments.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's some funny people in the comments.
Yeah, and on social media, these kids are like amazing. You know what I mean? It's super funny and doing amazing characters, coming up with their own characters with their reels and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. And then with us, just like going with the times as far as like the comedy. I think it still stands the test of time, which is like really deep for us. That the characters that we did back then, people still enjoy, those sketches and being able to get back into the wheels of doing that.
Yeah. They say it's like everybody's more sensitive these days, so like it's tougher to do comedy or whatever, but I think you just have to be smarter about your approach and like more caring, it makes people like almost better human beings, you know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're gonna go out there and like really be on the edge of things, like you gotta be aware of a lot.
Facts.